pretty good for a second scrimmage. Scrimmage game. It's great to play in Viejas in front of fans. We've improved from our first performance against UCLA, and it wasn't like the opponent. It's like there were things we had to do that we got done. So if we'd have played UCLA again, we'd have been better at certain things, and I thought we were today. Our ball screen coverages, where we sent the ball defensively, and sometimes the stats don't tell the story. I felt like our press and our pressure were really good, yet we had 13 turnovers and they had 11. So we didn't cause a lot of turnovers, but I thought the way we played and the pressure we put on early affected their rhythm offensively. So even though we didn't create turnovers with our pressure, I thought we impacted how they played to a large degree. So I think the big stat of the night was obviously out-rebounding them by what we did, 49 to 20-something, I think it was. And then free throws, we made more than they took. And usually those are winning statistics. When you out-rebound a team like that and you make more free throws than they attempt, those are pretty good winning statistics. So I was happy with our performance, and now we have a week basically to get ready for our opener, and we will pour everything into getting ready for Long Beach State on Tuesday.
Coach, different starting lineup today, different rotations throughout the game. What did you like from the players today?
Yeah, I wanted to switch it up, and I told Heidi and Pharaoh I was going to start one against UCLA and one against USD, and it might be that way all year because they're pretty even. BJ didn't start for the first time in a long time. I thought he handled it pretty well, and I told these guys they have to find ways to be happy for themselves and happy for their teammates because we have a lot of depth on this team. And if we all stay focused on the goal of winning and getting better, then we could have a special season.
How will you make decisions on the starters, particularly at point guard? You started Sean tonight, and at center, the 5-man with Pharaoh and Miles. How in the next 6 days do you think?
It'll be a combination of how they play in games and then how they practice that week. You have to be responsible for your game every day on the floor, not just in the games, but in practice situations. So, and then I told him if it's close, I'm going to err on the side of defense. I'm going to play the better defender because we're a defensive program. And that doesn't take away from their offensive game, but if it's even, I'm going to play the guy I feel impacts the game more at the defensive end.
You've been a guy traditionally, and even going back to Coach Fisher, that sticks with starting lineup for most of the season. Do you think that could be different this year with the position battles being so close and coming down, like basically right down to the wire?
Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll switch the lineup this year from time to time. And with that being said, I don't want to mess with a guy's head if he's playing well and take him out of the starting lineup just because I feel like some other guy's depressed because he's not starting. They have to be able to handle the stress of starting and not starting, knowing that they're growing their games, that their goals are in sight, whether it's to win games at San Diego State or to play themselves into a professional contract. They can do it from a starting spot or off the bench. It's all based on how they perform when they're out there.
Pharaoh, how important is it to you to start, or are you just look at this as, Miles and I are probably going to split most of those minutes, and I'll be on the floor?
I just look at it as a regular game, just trying to bring as much energy as effort, no matter what role I'm in.
In terms of big picture, does it mean a lot to you to start when the regular season comes, or are you just a guy that you just play minutes?
I feel like I'm going to make the most out of whatever opportunity I get.
Players want to start. I got 12 guys in there that want to start. Come on, everybody wants to start. I understand that. So once in a while, a guy won't be playing well, and he'll come to me and say, I'm feeling a lot of pressure. Maybe it'd be better if I came off the bench for a while, relieve some of this stress I'm under. But as a whole, I've got 13 guys in there that want to start. I understand that.
Coach, basketball is obviously a team game, and with that, what does it mean to you seeing everyone get involved and you guys scoring 43 bench points tonight?
Yeah, well, that's the strength of this team is its depth, and that's what got us back into the UCLA game. We just kept running numbers at them, and we were fresh. And Donovan Dent played 36 minutes, which he's a special player. He can play 36 minutes. But our strength is our depth sometimes, and we can keep fresh legs and fresh bodies on the floor. And I think that will be an advantage for us all season.
Pharaoh, Coach mentioned the importance of defense, and the unit only gives up 2 paint points in the first half, held them under 10 for the majority of the second half. You had a couple swats. What have you done to help build on the defensive side of the ball around the paint? And how's the unit improved in terms of defending the rim?
I just think it starts in practice. Obviously, just being on the same page with the starting lineup and whoever's out there. I think talking is the biggest thing as well. And I think we did a good job talking out there.
Elzie, just to kind of continue off that, you guys only held USC to 21% in the first half. USC didn't really get a good shot off, it seemed like, for a majority of that game. What were some of the positives that you saw on the defensive end today?
I mean, like Coach said, I think we were just the aggressors. That's what we've been working on all week in practice is ball screens. And I just think we executed that tonight, so yeah.
Elzie, what's the transition been like? Everyone talks about it's a very hard transition going from high school to college, but I mean, you and Tay seem like you both have adjusted pretty quickly.
I mean, I think practice is a lot harder than the games, honestly. And I think the first half against UCLA, I was very nervous just because it was so built up. But I think by like the end of the first half, I realized like it's just basketball, and the guys I'm going against every day are just as good or better than the people we're going to play against. And so the games, I'm not saying it feels easy, but like I'm just going out there to have fun. I know I'm a freshman, and I kind of use that to my advantage. Like I can kind of make mistakes. They're expecting me to make mistakes, so I'm just trying to play carefree and have fun, and just find a way to help us win.
What are your thoughts on the other freshman, Tay, and how he's come along?
Tay's been playing great, and he missed a decent amount of practice dealing with some injury, and he picked right back up. And so I'm just so proud of him. That's my dog, so yeah.
Coach, what do you think of the three-point shooting tonight? You guys shot 42%. Just your thoughts on the shooting from...
Yeah, we've got good shooters. We have to take the ones we took today where we're stepping into them and making easy ones, you know. And we missed some, but we played unselfish. We made the extra pass, and, you know, we spaced the floor pretty good. So when you get step-in threes, if you make them, you got a chance to have a pretty good game and a pretty good season.
What were your thoughts on sort of the progress of your two freshmen? They don't look like freshmen, do they?
Yeah, well, Elzie plays with such great pace. You know, it's natural to him. You know, he plays with pace. He probably has his whole career. And so I don't have to teach him that. He knows how to play. He's smart. He knows how to play the game. And Tay's got a body. He doesn't look like a freshman. So he's been granted some physical gifts, and that's a harder position to adjust to, all that physicality moving from high school to college, where, you know, it's a beating every time you go out there around the paint. But he's got the body to deal with that, so I'm happy with both my freshmen.
Coach, based on your first two exhibition games, what do you think your biggest areas of improvement need to be?
Just concentrating and doing our job more often than not. You know, we know what we're supposed to do, but when we break down, we don't do what we're supposed to do. We think we can go off and do something. We have a better idea than what we're trying to do, and that usually doesn't work out so well. So I told them they should just be concerned with pleasing me. And if they do that, then they're going to be very happy.
Coach, how would you assess the leadership on the floor tonight? Who's stepping up vocally or by example?
It's hard to tell. One good thing about being hard of hearing is I don't hear all the crap that goes on, and then I don't hear all the good leadership either. So I don't hear a lot of that. So I think we got pretty good leadership. You better lead good when you're up by 20. It's who leads when you're down by 20, and we had that against UCLA. Guys had a good attitude and pulled for each other and kept encouraging each other. So I think we've got good leaders on this team.
So when you guys play defense tonight without Miles and Magoon, what does that say just about kind of long-term defensive potential of this group?
Yeah, I think obviously Magoon will make a huge difference with rim presence, blocking shots. He's a great shot blocker. And then Bird will either get some steals or he'll put us under tremendous duress when he misses. So Bird is a little mix of both. So he can impact the game with his length, but, sometimes it's to a disadvantage. He makes a scramble to cover for him. So Bird is, that's how he's always been, though. So I like the way Bird defends.
What was the reason for him not playing?
Just want to rest him for the opener, with the abdominal strain and all the stuff he's been dealing with. Just want him fresh for the opener. And to get these guys that haven't got a lot of college minutes. Bird's played for 3 years, so he kind of knows what it is. These other guys, I'm trying to get them as many reps as I can to know what I have when we get into the real season.
And how's Magoon doing?
He's doing good. So hopefully somewhere around the 6th of November, he'll be cleared for full contact. But that doesn't mean he'll step out and play. Then he's got to practice and play for a while. So I don't know what that timeline will be. But he's making progress every day. So he's right on track to where we need him to be.
Pharaoh, you did a lot of work to change your body up. How much has that affected you out on the floor in these 2 games that you've gotten a chance to use this kind of rebuilt version of yourself?
I would say that's what the game is all about, being able to go up and down the court for a long period of time with 16 minutes, and I showed a good amount of condition. Shoot.
Did it help you with that poster though?
A little bit. Yeah, my diet, a little bit. Getting up. I jumped pretty high on that dunk.
What were all the changes that
Throw
you
that
did?
I
net.
do that.
Okay.
He passed it to me, too.
Good.
Don't forget.
You're welcome.
What were all the changes that you did?
I would say getting on a meal plan. That was really it. Just a strict one. Like, no more fast food. I cut off fast food completely.
You hit a little, well, not with a little, but like an 18-foot jumper tonight. Is that something, a part of your game you think we'll see more of this season?
We'll see a little once a game, hopefully 2 a game. We'll see how much Dutch let me. You see?
They go in, I'll let him.
You heard him.
See it break.
You heard him. If we go in, he'll let
Well,
me.
he's gonna take a 3. I don't know when or where, but he's gonna take one.
It's about if we're going or not.
Yeah, if it goes in or not.
He'll take me out.
Just real quick, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you guys ran a half-court trap early in the first half. Jeremiah Odin was kind of like at the forefront of that. Can you explain to me how his athleticism and defense kind of allows him to excel in that role?
Yeah, sometimes we trap the ball, and we may not get a steal, but it gets the other team out of their offense. You know, the point guard has to throw it to the 4-man, and then for them to run set plays, he has to get it back, and it kind of scrambles the game up. So sometimes we tell him to go, and sometimes he goes on his own. So it'll be something as he plays through the season, he'll have better timing of when to go and when not to go. But it disrupts the game. You know, if you're playing against guys that don't care if they run set plays or not, and just go downhill against that, then it's more of a challenge. But UCLA, they're pretty much a set play team, and USD attacked it a little, but not super aggressively. So sometimes you get a press for free, and that's what we were doing.
Could you tell that their team is 14 new players? You've got a lot of continuity this time of year. Does that just sort of show up?
Yeah, I mean, I think after the scrimmage, Coach Lavin asked how many returning players we have. 8? Because he knows it too. We have a lot of continuity. And we have a lot of returning players that have played a lot of time together in college minutes. And that makes a difference. So we should be ahead of the curve right now with our returners.
Elzie, how would you describe your performance tonight, and how do you feel you're getting more comfortable in your role?
I mean, like I said earlier, I feel like I was nervous and I got over that. And so it's just trying to stay ready all the time. I know I'm a freshman and we have a lot of good players. So the biggest thing for me is just like getting used to when I'm called on, like be ready to go. Because it's different from high school, like you're the guy and you do whatever you want and you don't come out. So that's probably the biggest adjustment, and I think I'm getting better at it. Yeah.